The entrance door is the business card of any home. That is why we install unique doors in our houses. This is the largest door in Texas that I managed to install. This is a pivot door. Today we will talk about how to order a pivot door, how to prepare for the installation, and how to install it to achieve such beauty for your home. Any project implementation begins with design. When you start the design, first determine what you need such a door for. Surprise your guest or create a larger opening, making the corridor bigger. That is the first question. This will determine the overall size and dimensions of the door. For example, this particular door is measured at approximately 10 feet by 5 feet in total, which is quite large, and 6 inches. Why did we make such a large door? We don't have a very big hallway and not much space in front of the house. We wanted to make the entrance more attractive and larger to open up the corridor space and show people, come into our fabulous big house. That is why this door has such a size. On the other side of the corridor, we have a window of the same size. To create a symmetrical design, you can see that this window goes almost from floor to ceiling. Once the design is determined and you understand that you want to order such a large pivot door, you need to choose what style this door can be. Because you are currently seeing just a black door with glass, it is not transparent. You can make the same door transparent, or you can design it with horizontal elements. For example, some horizontal or vertical crossbars. You can have it with a hidden handle or with a visible handle. You find a manufacturer and give them the task of what designer door you want to see. It doesn't necessarily have to be glass. It can be metal, aluminum panels, or wood, but the essence of this door is the axis on which the door rotates. No hinge can support a door that is 5 feet 6 inches wide. That is why we resorted to this pivot door method. After finding a manufacturer, you need to clarify with them what characteristics are needed to install your door. How should the frame be attached? To what should the frame be attached? Are vertical metal posts needed? Wooden posts? What is the door frame? What is the weight of the door? How will he install it for you? How will he set it up? What is needed for this? What equipment is required? By asking all these questions, you can form an understanding of how much this door will cost you. In addition to the supplier providing you with the door, you need to immediately find someone to install it for you. Either the supplier provides you with their installers, or you find door installers on your own. These are special guys. They need to understand that this door will work only if your frame is level. In this position, the level is correct, and in this position, the level is correct. I will demonstrate this to you now. We will check our installers to see how they installed the door. You can see that in this position, the ball is centered between the marks. It is very important for closing the door, because the door settings are made at the factory. When you bring it here, it will be very difficult to readjust it. The most important thing is to install the frame correctly. We check the second ball in this way. You see, he stands exactly between the black marks. Let's return to the order of the door. So, you have received the specifications. You have received the estimate or quote for the cost of the door. You found someone who will install this door for you. You need to find out how much it will cost to deliver it. The delivery of the door is a separate part of this process. Since the door is large, you will need an additional number of people and extra equipment. You will need extra time and to clear all areas, because carrying and installing a door through mountains like these will be difficult. Therefore, it is important to choose the right moment. For example, this house waited 3 months for the installation of the door. The frame was ready, we had already installed the drywall, practically finished the floors everywhere, and completed the exterior plastering, but the door was still not in place. There was no good moment to install this door. When we found the right moment, we moved on to the preparation. Installing a door is just one small issue you encounter when building. If you want to understand how the construction business works, how to make a foundation, frame, install a door, windows, join our course and our construction community. Why do I talk so much about preparation? Because this door weighs at least 500 pounds and costs at least $15,000. One careless touch, and this door can turn into just a pile of glass. Replacing this glass on site will be quite difficult because it is glued in at the factory. During installation, either a forklift, special equipment, or a large number of people are used. If your house is on a hill, it will add complexity for you. In our case, we were lucky. We have a flat plot and a short distance from the driveway to the entrance. 8 people brought and installed this door. Any door consists of a frame and a door. The first thing to do is to install the frame. And we have already mentioned that the frame needs to be installed level. When you set the level, you use special wooden or plastic inserts. They are sold at Home Depot. With them, you can set the level and create different gaps. For example, at the top, you may have a larger gap by the frame, while at the bottom, it may be smaller. Once you have leveled the door using these plastic or wooden inserts, you need to secure it with self-tapping screws. After you have secured it with screws, you fill the gap between the frame and the door with close foam. I will pay a little attention to the threshold. It has a slightly different shape. It is the same width as the frame, but it is very thin. It is better to lay tiles under the threshold and set. This threshold with special silicone or sealant. Any sealant that will prevent water from entering the house. Why did we lay tile here before? First of all, the tile provided the perfect horizontal level. No concrete can be as perfect as tiles. Secondly, if even a small amount of moisture penetrates the house somehow, condensation will cause the door to drip. We will have a surface here that does not get soaked. If we had laid wooden floors, we would have increased the risk of moisture entering. Any condensation between the street and the interior space that collects can drip and penetrate inside, damaging the floors. Therefore, at the entrance, I recommend laying tiles, but that's not the main topic today. The tiles set a horizontal dimension for us, which is an important part of the door installation. If the bottom surface is not horizontal or level, you will have problems closing the door. If the frame is installed correctly, listen to how your door will close. I close it without a handle, just with my finger. The door creates a vacuum effect because in this frame we have seals. The frame closes as if locking one side to the other, with the lock turned inward into the house. On the other side, creating a vacuum effect where no moisture or sound will pass inside. Look how easily it opens. Notice that without a lock and without a handle, I can open the door, which measures 10 by 6 feet and weighs almost 500 pounds. The frame is installed and we move on to the installation of the door. To be honest, it is quite easy to install. It has 2 axes, the lower and the upper. The lower axis is the one on which we immediately place the door, meaning we lift the door and set it on the lower axis, while the upper axis extends through a special mechanism. You turn the screw and the mechanism shifts the lower axis down, allowing the axis to fit into the hole. The most difficult moment is catching this hole. To catch this hole, you need to make such markings. Note that this blue tape is applied and there is a mark on it. We marked where the axis is located. The same marking was at the top. We removed it, but when you have a marking, you can adjust the door left and right, and further, the axis fitting into the hole. The door is installed. No further adjustments are needed. Everything has already been set up during production. If the frame is installed correctly, the 2 axes are in the right holes, and the door is installed. The special attention that this door deserves is its locks. How the door is secured, how it closes. Note that this door closes with 4 locks. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is, when you turn the key, all 4 parts of this door fit into these holes. Imagine how reliably this door works. Also, This is tempered glass. The glass is 10 times stronger than regular glass. And even if it breaks, it will simply shatter into tiny, tiny pieces. Inside this door is a metal frame, which gives this door incredible rigidity. After the glass is glued in, the door becomes very rigid. You can also choose an external or internal handle during production and select any lock. The locks are adaptable to electronic keys, locks, and so on, including code locks and basic locks. What else should you pay attention to when installing such a large and complex door? Of course, it is the preparation of the people and the site. The area needs to be cleared and prepared with a flat surface. There should be no metal parts, nails, or small stones on the ground. Installing this door on a metal or rigid surface will lead to damage, which will be a problem. Therefore, everything must be clean and open. You also need to discuss with your team the instructions on how you will do this. After you have installed the door, you need to cover it with some soft materials. This can be polystyrene, it can be foam board, or any soft material to cover it with panels to prevent damage. For example, in our case, we use polystyrene to cover it, and it is soft enough and effectively protects this surface. Once you have finished the construction, you need to make adjustments. Install the handle, install the lock, make vertical adjustments, and check how it closes. And after all the adjustments, your door is ready and you will get such a magnificent effect.